Good morning. How many of you were here at 4 o'clock this morning? Not me, but one. All right. Good. I know you were here in spirit. And I got an email from Charlie after they got home. He was going to open today, and he goes, I got to go to bed. So I said, don't worry about it. So anyway, they had a great prayer for peace in the world, which is greatly needed. All right, Judy is our opening music today. Welcome, Judy. You have the most angelic voice. Really, it's so beautiful. Thank you. All right, I'm Reverend Dr. Mary Mitchell, retired full-time minister, but here as a practitioner and teacher, so I'm glad to be here this morning. If you're new with us today, there is a welcome packet on the back wall. It's the blue folder there, and I'd love to meet you, and if you'd like a tour of the grounds, I'm here to take you around, rain or shine. We'll check it all out. We've got 3.5 acres here, and it's quite beautiful. I was out there this morning, and I could hear baby frogs. They were so cute. Just, what do you say? They croak, but not really. They kind of squeal. I don't know, but they're really sweet. All right, when I got here, Doug was here this morning, our usher greeter. Rich is there at the board table, and Lindy and Joey are at the sound booth. We really appreciate them. And Judy was here waiting for me. So Charlie opens early for all of us every week, and so I forgot the code to the building, and thank goodness she had it in her wallet. That is weird. Okay. It doesn't say we have a children's program today. It's not on here, so I don't see any teachers, so I know we have a couple children, so hang in there with these adults, and you'll see what we do when you're out there in the cottage. All right, if you have a cell phone, appreciate it if you would silence it. Thank you. And focus announcements. Now, the one focus announcement is the bookstore is closed through January 1st, which isn't too much farther away. And Reverend Lynn Fritz is our guest speaker today. We're thrilled to have her here. And all the rest of these are for the first week of January. Amazing. So buckle up, you'll be here a lot. Christy Carr, our practitioner, is going to offer a class called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. And this is an excellent way to put into practice the Science of Mind principles and practices. And it's 6 weeks, and she's a really good teacher. She loves doing this. Thursday, January 4th, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., and it's a 6-week class. Another spiritual music jam led by Michael Harris, Shem Smith, and Marco, Friday, January 5th, 7 to 8:30 p.m. And next Sunday, the SOAR group, the adventure group, is going to have their annual planning meeting after the service. So if you love going on the SOAR adventures, you want to bring your favorite place that you want to go in the new year and help them develop that plan. Sharian Wyndham, our famous watercolor expert, is going to be doing another new class, the Tao of Watercolor, Essentials for Watercolor Painting. It's for beginners, and it starts Monday, January 8th, 9:30 to 12 noon. Sacred Sisters begins January 8th, Monday, and the topic is falling free. It doesn't mean you're going skydiving. That's what Dr. James used to do if you were saying falling, oh dear. No, this is falling free, adding joy in your life. And Kathleen Patton will be there with her Kathleen's a real good healer. Really, she has quite a gift. So that's Monday, January 8th, 7 to 8:30. The men's group with Roy Wolstead, same evening, 7 to 9, creating friendship among men in the community. Now, I've got a class coming up, Exploring the Roots of Science of Mind. And it's starting Tuesday, January 9th. It's a day class, 12:30 to 3:30, and it's 10 weeks long. And I don't like to do 10-week-long classes, but this is extremely special because it covers the most 3 powerful people that Earnest Holmes learned from. And we're going to do a couple of Emerson's essays, a couple of chapters on Troward, and then Emma Curtis Hopkins. And so it'll be really fun to really get into the people that he learned the most from. And so the reduced cost ends January 7th because it starts Tuesday, January 9th. Now, Reverend Sue is taking on these advanced spirituality classes from home office that we haven't offered before. This one's called The Journey, A Dark Night, or is it Enlightenment? It's a dark night or enlightenment, not sure. So you'll have to come in and take this class with her. It's a 6-week journey through the Bhagavad Gita. I think that would be a wonderful, wonderful class to take because she loves that book. And then Christy Carr is going to have her bead therapy session again. And these people who come make the most beautiful jewelry with their beads. And also other types of art. So if you haven't done beading, Saturday, January 13th, 1 to 4 in the afternoon. And then Lori Buckman is back with a new program, The New Moon Circle, Saturday, January 13th, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And what this is monthly on the Saturday closest to a new moon, you meet as women, as they have for centuries, to set intentions on the new moon, foster personal growth, set direction together, and plan to thrive in the new year. So all that's happening within a week. So get your roller skates on and you'll do fine. All right. We have a reading, and this morning Judy Carmi is going to give us that. And then I will invite the bell 3 times and then scurry over here and do an opening treatment. And then Reverend Lynn will talk about wholeness and holiness. How many of you how many of you have not heard Reverend Lynn speak? 2? Oh, excellent. You're going to love it. And that's why there's so many people here today. Reverend Lynn and I go way back in the timber days, and she worked at Roseburg Lumber, and I worked at Wheelabrator, the power plant, and we met up, and we just became instant friends and learned about life from each other, things about life from each other. And so she said, "Where do you get your attitude?" I said, "Oh, let me tell you." And she's been coming ever since. And and one of my favorite people. All right, so Judy.
Good morning. I am reading a New Year's message from Carolyn Mace this morning. She says, "Be wild and wondrous on your spiritual path. A spiritual life is not, repeat, not a mental, intellectual experience. It is a prayerful, contemplative, mystical, reflective journey that in fact draws you out of your mental world. Your mind is the last place you want to be as you contemplate the nature of what is real in your life and what is of value. What good is your mind when it comes to those questions? You've programmed your mind to tell you what you want it to tell you. Your mind is filled with values you put inside it. What can your mind possibly understand about the mystical realm? Nothing. So be wild and wondrous on your spiritual path. Fall in love with the silence and stop fearing it. Stop looking for the distractions of sound and business and phone calls and computers. Stop trying to desperately stay connected. Get disconnected. And if you can endure the ego-shattering transition into being de-interneted, return to silence and quiet. Then ask yourself, what is of value to me? Do I really pray? Am I comfortable in my spiritual skin? What do I know about God? Have a blessed beginning to this new year.
This morning, we recognize with amazing clarity that all we exist in is the creation of God. God, this universal energy, this universal presence everywhere, has created it all. We've been created with love, a love so deep that we know truly love heals. And so for all the troubles in the world today, we send our love. For all the troubles in our own lives, today we pump it full of love. We use that power, that inner power of love, to not only change how we are with people, but how people are with us, respecting us because we are so loving. So I accept that for everyone here today, to be the powerhouse of love in the new year. Maybe just for today, maybe just at midnight, or maybe just the whole new year. That would be a great New Year's resolution. I am pumped with love for God in you and me. So I give great thanks for this knowledge, for this wisdom that carries us through all trials and tribulations and all layers of happiness and joy. It is who we're meant to be, and today we choose to be that, God in love. And so we release that to every cell of our body, knowing it's full of joy this morning, full of this wondrous message, full of Reverend Lynn's wondrous message, and we take it with us in the spirit of love today. And so it is. Reverend Lynn. Now, you know Sue. Well, wait a minute. You know Reverend Sue. She always has somehow to start out with something funny. And so she left this. And I don't know if it's for you or me.
I think it's for you.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think
With
so.
your outfit.
I give it to you.
Oh,
No. Judy, would you like to wear it? Yeah, no. Okay. Well, welcome.
thank you. Let me see that. I think that next time Sue is here, she has to wear this.
Oh, that's a good idea.
She knows I love feathers. Welcome, one and all, not only those here, but those who are joining us through technology, those who join us in consciousness. We are departing from 2023, last day. So as we begin our contemplation today together, I'm going to invite us just for a moment to close our eyes and take a long, slow, deep breath in. And that relaxing exhale. Sacred breath, the breath that connects us to life. And as we deconnect from technology, we have more space to connect with self, the sacred self, and the sacred. Wholeness and holiness is our contemplation today. So think about what wholeness means to you and what holiness. Have you had the experience of either? One of the things I want to say as we begin this contemplation, when we talk about wounds and trauma, this particular teaching, this tradition, is focused on healing. And sometimes it feels like there's a request to not have a wound. We all have our different processes of healing. So never should we judge ourselves or others about where they are in their healing process. So if you're working with a wound, trauma, that's what we need to do. That's how we heal. It's a process. And so suspending judgment and having deep respect for the individual's process of healing is very critical. So when I talk about wounds and trauma, it's with that understanding, that deep respect for everyone having their individual process. I also want us to think about when we're little people, when we enter into the world, our parents want to do what for us? What do they want us to be? Pardon? Pardon? Great. But what? Happy? Good. Nurtured. What was that? Kind. But more than anything else, if I'm at the edge of the curb and I'm little one and want to, safe. And it's a theme throughout our lifetime, isn't it? In fact, when we are in relationship to others, what we want to know most is that we are safe with them because it builds trust. It builds connection. So as we think about wholeness, what is wholeness? How do we become whole? Carl Jung, a very deeply respected psychotherapist, early on with the commencement of the School of Psychotherapy, he felt that it was important for us to look at how we related to wholeness because it dealt with the interior of who we are, the evolution of who we are. When we think of wholeness, I want us also to reflect upon this time of year. Winter solstice. What is winter solstice? Shortest day, but also the longest night, the long darkness. And then comes the returning of the light. So the important thing, relationally, to know about winter solstice, in order to embrace fully that light, we must honor the darkness. And so it is true of our healing process. Whatever we have encountered that has hurt us, wounded us, it may seem counterintuitive, especially when the wound is fresh and new, to think of it as something that needs to be honored. However, that is the journey of healing. And so it's a time for us at 2023 as it concludes, is to think about any places of limitation, darkness, wound, trauma that still exist in us or as part of our story that has not yet been healed. What we're to do as sacred human is to discover ourselves as a healer. Not only does this tradition point to it, because Earnest Holmes keenly studied the life and teaching of the Christ one, Jesus of Nazareth, because he knew something about what it meant to be sacred human and how to heal. And he said of us, we will do greater than he did. So thinking about self, in order for me to be whole, I must heal the wounds of myself. Without those healings, any place that I have limitation or pain or hurt or discomfort or disconnection, it's an impediment to what it means to be fully sacred human. Wholeness, Richard Rohr, a priest in the Franciscan tradition, he says, holiness reveals itself through our capacity for positive connection. So when we're wounded, when we have trauma, when there's a hurt, what happens is we disconnect. You've heard me talk about this before. And that's a natural mechanism that is in place so that we can navigate through that circumstance, survive, process it, heal, and reconnect. It's what the whole field of psychotherapy is about. It's what this teaching is about, connection. To become fully sacred human is connecting with our essence, with the sacred that lives within us, the sacred that surrounds us, the sacred that is within each of us relationally. Lawrence Freeman, he says, wholeness is our capacity to experience health as transcending all limitations. Now here's the tough part, while accepting them. It is paradoxically in accepting our limitations that we can transcend them. Our limitations. So think about that. What are the things that I feel limited in? If it's trauma, it's meant and designed to be healed. If it's a limitation, we might think of it as, well, I'm not very good at public speaking, or when we are deeply connected to the sacred, we transcend all limitations. It becomes a mystical experience. So I invite us to think about what mystical experiences have I had in this lifetime. Think of those, because They are landmarks to our growth and healing. And if you've had one, you can have a whole bunch more. And if you haven't had one, you can have them. Remember what Scripture says? Ask and you will receive. This journey of healing is a mystical journey. It's counterintuitive to think that I can heal myself. Truth is, no one else really can. It is our connection to the sacred, to God, to Spirit, Allah, Jehovah, Krishna, whatever you wish to call the sacred, Creator. That is how we discover our capacity for wholeness. Jung said that a state of completion of the human soul, a state of completion of the human soul, is what we mean by wholeness. One of the ways I like to think about it is if you have an orange. I brought one, but it's in Sue's office. Forgot it. Think about an orange. Inside that, there are many different sections. No two section is alike. Sometimes they're little tiny ones. Sometimes there's bigger ones. Sometimes they're a little crinkly. Those represent all the different aspects of the things that we have experienced in this lifetime. All those things are to become, when they're processed and healed, create the wholeness. We don't get rid of them. Processing those, connecting those, honoring those, integrating those creates wholeness, creates healing, brings us who we are today. So it's a different way of thinking about our wounds, because most of us go, oh, that was a really bad. When we know there's true healing of a wound or trauma, is when we can say, that made me who I am today, and I honor it. So think about, what is there in my life that may still need healing? Because our goal is to reach that wholeness. And we can have momentary experiences of wholeness. Probably most of us in this room have had that. What I want us to notice is that we are truly designed to live in that wholeness, to live in the holiness. That might be a new thought, but that's what this teaching is about, isn't it? Thank you. Is that better? I didn't get any signals back there. We have to be able to, just like we embrace the darkness at winter solstice before the coming of the light, we have to embrace those wounds, that trauma, so that we can then process it and use it to help us to heal. Remember what I said at the very beginning about being respectful of everyone's process? Especially, sometimes we're more critical of our own. So don't see it as what you haven't done. See it as what we get to do. And the encouragement to move into greater places of healing. One of the ways I talk to people about healing is when I am with people, no matter who I am with. Am I fully me? Can 100% of me be here right now? Psychology talks about it as the authentic self. We talk about it as sacred self. So if there's any small portion, 1%, that is still hidden or not shared, or I try to be safe and keep it back, That's our challenge, to open, that we may become, what was the word? Whole? Whole. So asking myself, am I whole? Have all those pieces of this orange integrated together to create the wholeness. The challenge here also means that we're not only connecting with ourself, but we begin spontaneously, when we connect deeply with ourselves and we can connect deeply with spirit, we connect with other people. We join in consciousness. And that, I would say, is not only in present time, but past and future. We connect with a truth, a legacy of healing, of holiness. I want you to think about spiritual practice, because we talk about spiritual practice on a regular basis. Spiritual practice means that we are doing some sort of something so that the end goal is to transform ourselves, change ourselves, have the experience of the sacred. But you notice, no matter what I'm doing in that ritual, if I'm doing it with intellect only, it has no juice. No change occurs. I must be able to experience that practice, which means body, mind, spirit, the emotions of who I am as sacred human must be present in that practice. I'm sure we know of people who, and perhaps sometimes ourselves, who they do this practice, but no change comes. So it means we have to practice connecting with self so that our practice is transformative. Transformative. That's what happens when we meet with it emotionally. We are transformed. The increment may be small, or it may be very large. The mystics, they talk about holiness. One thought, it is about living in the grace of God. Asking ourselves, do I live in the grace of God? Do I want to live in the grace of God? Seems like a lot of work. What I want us to know and think about is it can seem like a lot of work. Meditation, prayer, study, being kind when perhaps the reaction is not to be so kind. When we do that, we are changed. We heal, even though the increment may be small. And what happens, why the work is also worthwhile, is because we create within us, in that wholeness, a sanctuary, not defined by a location. We'll think about, I want to be safe. So we lock our cars and our doors and our windows. Those are all practical, but true safety is within us. An experience we have when we connect with ourselves and connect with the sacred, and nothing that happens to the physical body can take that from us. That's a little underscore there. So think about that. Sanctuary. Do I have this sanctuary within myself, or am I looking to others to feel safe? That's how we measure our healing. Do I feel such a strong connection to the sacred, to spirit, to creator, that I feel safe with me, with spirit, with God? This is my sanctuary. And when people encounter me, do they feel safe? Do they feel valued, respected. We have to also remember that our holiness is God's holiness. It's God expressing through us, as us, remember? We become a much more available vessel when we do all this work and healing and live in wholeness and live in holiness. Don't be mistaken and think that holiness means perfection. Remember, even with our limitations, we can be holy. Think of the example of the Christ one, human man, and yet connected to the sacred, connected to Father God, working miracles, transforming the world. So we have to think about sanctuary. Do I want to create a sanctuary within myself and what others feel safe to come and be? It's our call to action, you might say, as we release 2023 and welcome 2024. How can I not only create sanctuary within myself and between people, but perhaps reach out to the larger community where there is need for healing? We all recognize that, don't we? So always as part of my process in being with you is to bring sacred music, because it accesses the emotions within us and helps us to make that connection. So anytime you feel disconnected, pause life, take a bathroom break, go for a quick walk, be in silence. Silence helps us to connect with the sacred. Because when we're connected with ourselves, we're in wholeness, we're in holiness. So I want us to hear this contemplation, a cantor from Central Synagogue in New York, Julia Cadrain. She talks about sanctuary. Then she sings about it in Hebrew, and then she gives the English. She's singing in it in English. So imagine ourselves there in the Central Synagogue of New York. And invite you to close your eyes. I'm going to come back to you and ask you, what's your experience? What emotion comes up for you when you hear her? What occurs? If you're comfortable, close your eyes and take a long, slow, deep breath in.
That means build for me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. It says them, meaning God may dwell among them, the people, rather than it, the sanctuary. So this is the idea that God isn't contained within any particular physical space, but God exists in the spaces between people and in the relationships that we have with each other.
Notice what you're feeling. That emotion, that feeling, is part of the pathway to healing, to holiness, to wholeness. Remember, when we embrace that darkness, it is the path to illumination. It's how we become fully light. What emotions do you experience? Can I hear from you? Connected. Calm. Still. At home. Peaceful. So today we joined our Jewish brothers and sisters as we journey together. Can I be the sanctuary for self, connected to spirit, being sanctuary to our people? As Judy comes forward for the prayer, the music for the prayer, I want to leave us with these words from Earnest Holmes, my hero. The treasure of life is already buried deep within our being, seeking and finding, asking and receiving, giving and getting. This is the law of life. Jesus, the way-shower, the revealer of God, was an explorer of man's divinity. So may we be too. So as we join together in prayer, Holy Spirit, Father, Mother, God, Creator, Great Spirit, Allah, Jehovah, Jireh, all the many names, the great I am. You desire relationship with me. We are created in your image and likeness. We are sacred human. That is our calling. That is our opportunity to feel that connection and oneness with self, with you, not only with our loved ones and families, but with all beings, the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged creatures, even the rocks and minerals and the insects, plant life, the life that fills our waterways, and the life-giving energy of water itself. All is sacred, and I am part, just part, of that extraordinary thing we call life and eternity. I am called, we are called into that magnificence. And so I embrace those things that have caused wounds. I heal and transform them so that I may be fully illumined, that I may experience the sanctuary with you, the sanctuary within myself, the sanctuary between people and all of life. As we release 2023 and embrace 2024, as we are in this liminal space and cross the threshold into new expression, may I make the commitment to be fully healed and fully free, to not rest until I experience wholeness and live in holiness. May my longing be for your presence, the beauty of who you are, the extraordinary gift we have of this lifetime. And as we come to the close of 2023, we are deeply grateful for those who have given to us. Earnest Holmes for this teaching, the life and work of the Christ One, of the peacemakers, those who stand for diversity, those who work to share, to love, to express compassion. May we, too, be the light of the world. May we, too, live in wholeness and holiness. So we give thanks, Great Spirit, Creator, for the affection we feel, for your presence, for your companionship. I love you. And to all our relations, we send this prayer for healing, for wholeness, to where there is suffering, relief, healing, beauty, your love. So we give thanks for this teaching, for everyone present in this room, to everyone linked through technology and everyone linked in consciousness. We celebrate life. We give thanks, releasing this prayer into the beauty of life and into the law. We know it is already so, and so it is. Amen. Thank you.
Well, now it's your turn to sing. And the words will be up there, and you stand if you wish or not. So please sing this with me. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my
was so perfect. I'd like to invite the ushers up for the offering, please. And as we prepare to give our offering this morning, our hearts are filled with love and appreciation, since we know what is offered here has been for our spiritual well-being. We're filled with gratitude, knowing that life stays in balance, for we know the truth that as we give, we receive.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And so I give thanks for the blessed donations received this morning and those that come in during the week. I know that each dollar supports the spiritual family in many ways as we grow together, pray together, and give thanks for all that this center has been blessed with today and always. And so it is. So we have a closing song, and it's one of our old-time favorites, I think, Judy. And so what I want to share is the social hall is open, and so there's a lot of goodies in there. And Christy, our practitioner, and Shirley, our practitioner, and myself will be here by the bell. If you would like to come up and ask for a prayer, we'll be happy to meet with you and do that, our form of affirmative prayer. So thank you for being here, and enjoy this song together, and then have a great experience around the center.
Okay, now stand up and let me hear you this time, okay?